This is Ray Grant. In our last episode, I showed how Mike Butterfield shamelessly lurked on a private message board where he wasn't a member. He then shamelessly copied a profile picture from my Facebook page and posted it at the top of his Crackpot Files article. He then swore on a stack of holy books that he had never lurked on that message board, even though the poached picture proves otherwise. In this episode, I will demonstrate how Butterfield removed a passage from his Crackpot Files article merely because a Zodiac suspect asked him to, which is something else Butterfield swears never happened. Here is the top of his Crackpot Files article as it currently appears online. However, this isn't the same article Butterfield originally posted on Tuesday, August 10th, 2010. Here is the article as it originally appeared, courtesy of the Wayback Machine. As you can see, Butterfield has removed 3 sentences from the second paragraph. Here are those 3 sentences verbatim. Some years ago, I was talking on the phone with Zodiac suspect Michael O'Hare, and he mentioned that there was some other nut who had written a book about him using the same kind of mathematical distortions and fantasies employed by his original accuser, Gareth Penn. He mentioned that this person lived in Pennsylvania. Obviously, O'Hare was referring to Raymond Grant, who has since developed an elaborate theory in which both Penn and O'Hare, the accuser and the accused, committed the Zodiac crimes together. When confronted with this fact by Ned DeHaan on the Zodiac Expert Series interview, Butterfield insisted he had not been asked by O'Hare to remove the 3 sentences. Butterfield said he removed the 3 sentences to improve the flow of the writing. Here then are the 2 sentences immediately preceding and following the deleted passage. As one who has followed this case for decades, I have witnessed many men overcome by this disease, and Ray Grant is simply one of its many victims. Grant has adopted many of Penn's pet theories, as well as his dubious methods. Mike Butterfield's The Crackpot Files is clearly intended to function as a standalone article, and yet he mentions Penn's surname without identifying him. Who is this Penn he's talking about? If you're editing an article to improve the flow of the writing, wouldn't you, at the very least, identify one of the main subjects of the article the first time you mention him? So we have to assume one of 2 things. Either Butterfield is an absolutely lousy editor, or he deleted the 3 sentences because the man mentioned in those 3 sentences asked him to delete them. The question is, why would Michael O'Hare, who is a professor in public policy at Cal Berkeley, have asked Butterfield to delete the 3 sentences? Unless there's someone else who lives in Pennsylvania and wrote a book about O'Hare and sent 90 copies of it to the JFK school in 1990, it's because those 3 sentences prove that Michael O'Hare brought up Ray Grant in a telephone conversation with Mike Butterfield in 1999. Again, since I didn't post anything online until June 2010, Butterfield wouldn't have known who I was. So those 3 sentences prove that O'Hare knew who I was and that he'd read my book, since otherwise he wouldn't have known what the book contained. O'Hare has no intention of suing Ray Grant, but the presence of those 3 sentences put O'Hare at risk of being sued by Ray Grant, which he can't afford to happen since his fingerprints will match those left in Presidio Heights. If you're keeping score, we're 2 episodes into this series, and so far Butterfield has lied about lurking on Mike Morford's private message board, lied about poaching my Facebook profile picture, lied about running interference for a serial killer, and lied about why he deleted the 3 sentences. If all this sounds a little pathological to you, just wait till we get to the actual evidence in the Zodiac case.